Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson, and today we are out in the area of my garden called Yorkin's Corner in the middle of my Hosta collection here because I have a raid in the rack video for you. I've been out and got myself a couple more, or more than a couple, new Hostas for this wonderful collection here. So one of them I've already potted up in the big pot here, it's a blue one. And I have one on the table and one behind me. So the ones that are in the nursery pot still, I can bring closer to the camera and show you those closer up. But the other one, I'll have to bring the camera down so you can get a closer look at that in a moment. Now, in this video, I only have the name of one of these new Hostas that I brought home because the other two were marked up as Hosta Mix, which means that I don't have the variety name. So I'm hoping that any of you out there that are Hosta experts or know a lot about Hostas or have a Hosta collection and enjoy Hostas will help me to hunt the names of these two other Hosta varieties that I have, and hopefully I'll get the name to be able to add to my list. But anyway, let's have a closer look at my Hosta collection very quickly today. No names, no fuss, just quickly. And the Hostas that I have to show you that I bought while I was out raiding the rack. So the first one I want to show you is the one behind me here. So look at this beautiful, lovely lime green or chartreuse, lovely green Hosta bundle here. And this is an amazing pot. And it seems like this pot has two different varieties in it that are very similar, or that the variety is variegating. Some of the leaves are plain green, and over here you can see the leaves have a white margin or a white side, and they're variegated. So that's absolutely fantastic. So at some point I'll go in and split the variegated into another pot from the plain so I can see how they grow out. But isn't this amazing? Now let's have a closer look. There you go. What a lovely colour on these, huh? All the way around in all their glory. At the back, I haven't been out to sort them out for a while, so at the back there is a yellowing leaf here hanging. And this plant actually needs water. It's bone dry, so I've got to get in and water it as well. But other than that, it is a bundle of joy. So these are my first Hostas in a pot. So if any of you know the name of these, please write the name down below. I will be very, very thankful. So right, now I'm going to take you in for a closer look of all my Hostas. I told you that later in the season, these Hostas will start getting some more holes in their leaves due to slugs and snails, and it's inevitable. But I want to take you in and take you around for a closer look because some of them are flowering out here. Now it's the middle of July, and in fact it's the 15th of July today, so right in the middle of July. And I have a couple of Hostas that are flowering out or have already flowered over. This one that I'm going to show you. And well, these plants are still looking so much better than Hosta plants that I have in the borders in the garden. They are completely decimated near enough. And even though that happens, I just carry on watering and doing everything as normal. And I know they'll come back next year, but my Hostas in the garden are having a really hard time with the slugs. But in the pots, even though they are munched a little bit, they are looking quite okay for the most part. Now I found out the one plant I have that I left ivy growing around, that has made like ladders for the slugs, and that plant has been munched on an awful lot more than all of the plants I have that have just bark around the bottom of them in their plastic pots. So that seems to be a better method and keeps the amount of munching on the leaves down, but definitely not at bay. But the ones that have other types of plants growing around the bottom, like ivy, like this, that helps the slugs too easily to get onto the plant. So I'm going to have to change that up, but I'll wait until the end of the season now. So let's go in for a closer look so I can show you the new plant I bought while I was out raiding the rack. So let's have a quick closer look at all these lovely Hostas, and look at the white flowers on this beautiful Hosta Sibbaldiana elegans. Really beautiful. And then we'll carry on. A few little holes in that one, but not too bad. And here is the hosta I bought while I was out raiding the rack. Now, I don't have the name of this one, so if any of you have any idea what it is, please write the name down below. I'll be very happy. I bought it because it has quite small blue leaves, but it has long petioles on the leaves, and I really thought that was nice. So this is just growing out wonderfully here. And that's how beautiful it is with its leaves. So, if you have any idea what this could be, really, please let me know. I will be so happy to be able to add the name to my collection list. And then while we're at it, we'll have a quick look at some of the other hostas. Very quickly, we'll just go around so you can see how they're looking now. Some of them have grown out even more since my last video. Absolutely beautiful. Now, if you want the variety names of some of these plants, you can go and have a look at my last video I did, where I did a tour of my hostas. There you can get more information on what they're called, because in this video it's just a quick walk around to look at the flowers and so forth. And here are the ones down here, growing out wonderfully. One down here, a little bit munched, but still beautiful. This one down here has flowered out. And all the ones down here still doing wonderfully. And then there's my Hosta white feather that is not doing quite so good, but still trying its best to carry on. And then on the other side, the one I just showed you looks gorgeous in the back here. And then the one I was telling you about that got munched extra much by the slugs and snails due to the ivy helping them to crawl around. So that is definitely something I would not suggest. I will suggest leaving your hostas on their own, and I will do that next season. I will leave that like that for now. So another beautiful one. So look at these lovely little miniature hostas and their flowers about to emerge. Gorgeous. The one at the back here. The one down here that's grown out more leaves. The one over here that's looking beautiful. The one at the back here, lovely. This one doing gorgeously as well. Even this one. And this one. Oh, they're looking so gorgeous at the moment, actually. And this one, absolutely beautiful. They're so lovely. And my fern, and there we go. And that's the whole lot from the back at this side, looking back into the garden. And that's how they're doing. Approximately a month after my last video, must be. So I'm really pleased that my hosta corner is still looking amazing. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing quickly my plants here. This was a very quick overview this time, just to show you that they're still thriving and they're still happy, and I'm really enjoying my hosta collection here in the garden still. So the final plant I bought while I was out raiding the rack is the one on the table here, and I absolutely love the shape of this plant, and this one I do have the name of. So let me bring it in closer for you to have a real good closer look at it. So here it is. Now this is a very unusual type. Look at these wrinkly leaves. Have a look closer. Aren't they just interesting and amazing? I absolutely love this. A variegated plant with green and yellow leaves. And you can see it gets purple flowers on it. They've finished flowering now on this one plant. Others might come out on some of the other plants, so I'll go in and prune this back. And well, it is just gorgeous to behold. I absolutely loved it. When I was out, I saw this in a garden centre and it was the only example, and I grabbed it straight away because it's so unusual. This hosta is called Hosta Wheee. And I really love that name. It really does look like a wee kind of plant with all this curling and crinkling, and oh, it's just wonderful. Just amazing. So this was the last plant I got while I was out raiding the rack. So if you haven't got into hostas yet, I suggest you go out and find yourself some, because you can have them on your balcony, you can have them indoors on a windowsill, you can have them out in the garden, you can have them in pots, and they come back every single year. They're easy to look after. They do get munched on by slugs and snails, but you can enjoy them in pots quite easily anyway. And there are ways to keep those little critters at bay, as well as deer. You need to be careful in certain areas of this world where the deer love to go in and munch these. But as I said, I have deer going around in my garden and they have not touched my hostas at all in this corner I have them. So I know they're safe, even though they're not isolated, there's no fencing, there's nothing around them to protect them. The deer haven't touched them, so I'm so pleased about that. Anyway, this is just a quick video today, so all I have to say now is thank you very much once again for watching Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be coming up, and I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye!